Mary, it has us maybe planning out how we can cool down. Maybe a snow cone or an ice cream sandwich is in the forecast too.
Yeah, it's going to be warm tomorrow. Warm for April standards. You may be thinking, well, 84 degrees isn't really that warm to me, Mary. Well, listen, to each their own, because I think that's rather hot. So, and if you're across the Eastern Plains tomorrow, 90s, well, maybe you like the 90s. Okay, more power to you, but it is going to be pretty warm tomorrow. May need to kick on the AC if you haven't already this season. Here's what's happening. A ridge of high pressure is stationed across the southwestern tier of the U.S. That is going to compress the surface. High pressure is sinking air. This is a stronger ridge of high pressure, so it is going to allow those temperatures to heat up a lot quicker through the day, alongside with ample daytime heating, and we really feel that heat right through the end of the week before those temperatures will relax just a bit into the weekend. So possible record-breaking warmth on Thursday or near records, especially for those folks along the Arkansas River Valley. Let me show you these high temperatures for tomorrow. We're going to be making it into the 90s across the Highway 50 area. West winds will be the dominant feature, and we'll also bring in a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow, so expect a mix of sun and clouds, and add temperatures into the 70s and 80s across the Pikes Peak region, which means places like Woodland Park or Teller County will be soaring into the upper 70s, 73 in Cripple Creek, 76 in Divide, western El Paso County into the 70s. If you want to cool off, I suppose you could head to the top of Pikes Peak if you're feeling energetic tomorrow. 84 degrees in Fountain and 83 degrees for a high temperature in Colorado Springs on Thursday. We'll be flirting with the 90-degree mark across parts of Pueblo County as you work your way west up into the Arkansas River Valley, into the upper 80s for Canyon City, and certainly touching that 90-degree mark across Los Animas, east into Holly, possible upper 80s out there with a little bit more cloud cover. Limiting a little daytime heating. Here's the records that we would have to beat tomorrow. Don't think we're going to come close for Colorado Springs. 87 is the old record set back in 1992. The forecasted high, that's closer to about 83, 84 degrees at this point. But Pueblo, we could tie a record. That could certainly be a possibility for tomorrow if these temperatures certainly overshoot the forecasted high. Notice here on Friday, temperatures will really be steady in the 80s and 90s, so that ridge of high pressure is going to continue to allow for very warm temperatures, unseasonably warm. And then, as I said before, the temperatures relax just a bit into the weekend, but still above average for this time of year. We will return to a slight chance of a few stray showers for the afternoon and evening time frame beginning on Friday for some locations. Places like Woodland Park will have the 10 to 20% chance of a few afternoon and evening showers. Again, it's not going to amount to much, certainly not a washout. Don't need to change any outdoor plans that you may have, but the chance of rain is in the forecast. Telling you there's a chance. It's just not going to, unfortunately, be anything too widespread for us, even though we could use a lot more moisture. And as we get into the next several consecutive weeks, this is typically a drier time of the year for Colorado before monsoon season, or the monsoon flow kicks in July. Hopefully we'll have a better a season this year versus the lack thereof we had last year. But for right now, got to watch that high fire danger, and that's something we're going to be monitoring very carefully as we move through the end of the week with record-breaking heat possible on the docket for our weather. Highs in the 80s for Colorado Springs tomorrow, steady in the 80s for Friday, chance of rain returning for Saturday afternoon. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Looks good, Mary. Thank you. Coming up, moving